how badly things will go if I try to complete this map by transitioning it into 0.18. That's the only thing I'm uncertain about. The map may need to be changed a bit, as in I may need to completely restart and build to a similar point and go from there. I'll keep iterating the same series even if I have to do a new map. But I said this last time too, that we may need to start a new map at some point. Such is the way of things when the mod is in development still, and on top of that, you also have the complication of a whole new major version of Factorio releasing without much prior notice. Like that 8 to 18 hit without any real good prior notice. Like, hey, it's coming out this week. We didn't know. No one knew that it was coming out when it did. That it was even this week that it was coming out. That was exciting. Let's say exciting. It's like, oh hey, it's a new major version. Every single mod has broken. It needs to be updated because it's a new version. Why isn't the hot air hot? It's a good question that you should ask Pyanodon. Why isn't hot air hot? Hot air temperature is 15°C. Hot air is cold. Hot air is 15 degrees Celsius. That is cold, actually. That is cold. That is I don't know. I would probably be wearing a jacket-ish if I had to go outside in that weather. If 0 is freezing, that means 15 is like what, 50s in Fahrenheit-ish, somewhere around there. I don't even know the conversion off the top of my head, and I'm US based, so my brain is Fahrenheit, and in Fahrenheit, room temperature is anywhere between 68 and like 74-ish, 76-ish in Fahrenheit. Anything higher than 76 will start feeling like hot. A bit too warm. A bit too warm. That would be how I would define it. 80s hot, 90s very hot, 100s excruciatingly hot. Yeah, room temp around 20. So I figured 15 was less than room temperature, but not yet freezing, which in Fahrenheit is generally speaking upper 40s into 50s is how I would classify that. Rough equivalent. Anyway, we're still making advanced foundries. I still need way more copper for all these foundries. I've now got glass. I have to route the glass over. I have to route some stone over, some stone bricks over, and I have a slot for wood as well. We're almost at that point where I can actually start migrating this stuff over. I just need to add aluminium and get some engine units. That's the plan. Engine units. Let's at least try to get the engine units for those for the wood automation. Because wood automation is going to require fast wood forestries. It's going to require fast wood forestry and botanical nurseries. So, botanical nurseries have changed. Just FYI, botanical nurseries are now how you get a lot of seeds and how you get the first version of a lot of plants going forward. So, while, yes, I will need botanical nurseries to make wood, because now all log recipes require wood seedlings. Wood seedlings will require moss, which is going to require CO2, as well as water, and wood seeds. You get wood seeds out of wood. So it is a positive feedback loop. And that is the theme of alien life. There will be a lot of loops in alien life, a lot of positive feedback loops. And it will start slow and it will speed up, but you will always have to make sure that you maintain your positive feedback loops. That is going to be a big set of complexity, is making sure that your positive feedback loops don't break on you. Because if you aren't paying attention, and if you haven't set it up properly, there is always going to be a chance that you end up consuming more than what you need to feed back the loop to keep it going. So you always have to make sure you set up your priorities properly. You must set up your priorities properly. I'm just going to copy this and just paste it a whole bunch of times. But I want the thing going the other direction. That's the problem. Oops. One more tile? Yeah. Then I can just copy, paste, paste, paste. I will have all of the glass on the planet now. And that is only half of what I intend. And there we go. Just to add power. Cool. Stuff and things. Yeah, sorry bots, I sort of I stole your jobs from you. Okay. So the wood is actually simple by comparison to other processes. And I say that because once we get into plants, like Relesia and Kikalk, and into animals, like the Vrauk and the Augs and the Urik, that we will have access to in the early game. For some reason we have Vrauk really early now. Vrauks were the animals in one of the other pieces of the mod suite that would give you serine, that would be part of the production of the alien bacteria 1, which would be part of helium production, as well as biopolymer, I think? Hold up. Hold up. What was... bacteria. Alien bacteria, Mark 1. Yeah, this was... The ethanolamine was helium, and resilin. Resilin was the thing. That's what it was. So you had needed it to complete the game because you needed resilin to get NEMS and hyperelastic material, and it had a use in biofilm. So that was why you needed serine. This stuff, and this came from this came from Kamauts. It's Vrauks you unlock. Why am I confusing these things? I know why I'm confusing these things, because they're both freaking insects. That's why I'm confusing these things. Vrauks are completely different things. So what are the actual Vrauk used for, then? Not the codex. I need the caged. Meat, arthropod blood, which is vanadium. Am I going to have to do vanadium early? Brains, chitin, guts, and that's it. Okay, so generic thing that gives me vanadium, blood, brains, guts, chitin, not even skin, not even bone. It's chitin that you get. Like, okay, what do I have a use for chitin for in the early game? Not much, it looks like. Yeah, not much, it looks like. A lot of this gets used a lot later. So, why do we even have rock? Is it better versus Augs on something? It should be better than Augs at something. Augs and Ulrich. Of course, Ulrich would be your bone meal, your better bone meal. Augs give you manure, so these need to give you something better than the others, and it doesn't really look like it. Maybe it's meat. Maybe it's meat versus the others. Maybe it gives you more. Although Ulrich give 4. And that requires advanced rendering though. So alright. I don't know. I don't know. This is a thing that I don't know that I will find out as we progress and I start unlocking more techs and at Red Science. And I can see for certain how this will all go. This will also involve making a slaughterhouse. It'll be glorious. It shall be glorious. Now I have to bring this bad boy all the way down and over and provide plenty of space as we continue to go all the way down. I did say that this was supposed to save me belt, right? Stone, brick, wood. Just for reference. That's these belts, what these belts will be. Aluminium. Quickly. Let's get this sorted. Having just 2 foundries is fine, actually, for the aluminium. This can be done... I mean, as long as it's in line, right? I mean, realistically, I should have it up here, but no, I will have it here. Hot air aluminium, because it is rather important. That is not going to be the side I input on, is it? This will be the side I output on. I need more inserters. I always need more inserters. All of the inserters. Yeah, because that's 3.33. Oh boy, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. I'm pretty sure that's more than 4, but we shall. It's like that's as much as I'm gonna get. Go that way. Also, it's 1 per second. Oh, great. I need to get Duralumin like real soon and unlock the thing. Yes, the so specific there. I need to unlock the thing. Yes, I need to unlock fast inserters. That's what I need is those glorious fast inserters. Let's see, aluminium. That is not the right line. This is the line. Bring this all the way down. Further. Say hello to the glorious things that are the engine units. Huzzah, engine units. Yeah. See about engine units. They first also require pipe. How many... Like, what's the ratio again? It's... Alright, these are really slow. 2 pipe per engine unit every 15 seconds. How fast are you? 1... 15! 1 to 15. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have more than half a second on aluminium. So yeah. That is a lot of small parts. I'll have 5, I guess, that I'll feed. And I need to consider these will need long-handeds. It should be fine this way. This will be the mixed belt. This will be iron. Iron. Hey, I need belt. Good thing I'm standing right next to where I have belt. Yeah, that'd be ideal. Actually, have the iron go down. Okay, setting up. I need to think. I'm the amount of thinking right now is astronomical. Concentration. I hate building these. Just for reference. I really dislike the times that I need to do mixed belts like that, because I always have to think about it to some extent on how to actually build these properly with the proper spacing on the undergrounds and all of that. It's like this is experience more than anything else, just playing its part in setting that up. It's just something you have to do enough times. Oh boy, okay. I'm thinking about power as well. Here, so yeah, that's gonna be that. And then of course I need to, you know, output the actual engine units. Now, nothing will consume engine units directly for a while. Yeah, engine units are only really going to be for... Oh, hey, pumps. For things that get used as buildings for the most part, and the car, you know, it's like, okay, this is a lot of... This is buildings. This is not other intermediates, which means that it's not a thing that needs to be bussed. It will need to be used for the Pynobots, but by the time the construction bots, but by the time I will want to make construction bots, I will have green science and I will have a lubricant-based recipe. Not lubricant. I will have a belt, like rubber-based recipe that is significantly better to make engine units. So I will have a better recipe by the time it will be relevant. This initial production of engine units is exclusively to make those specific early game buildings, like, in this case, the Fastwood Forestry. Preferably several Fastwood Forestries. Except I need steel. Because of course I need steel. And remember what I said, I wanted to at least get to the point of making this wood here. You love the small parts on the belt? Yeah, small parts were recently changed, relatively recently changed, to have the randomized looks. All of the parts, the small parts, the advanced small parts, and the special small parts now have these special little random bits and pieces for their sprites. It's absolutely glorious. You will always be able to know this is small parts. Okay. Wood. I will also need, of course... We've got 6 minutes, and I'm realizing, oh hey, this is going to need CO2. Duh. This is going to need coke. Duh. To get this started. Because this is going to need moss. Duh. So let's make our moss buildings, moss farms. There we go. The moss recipes, or recipe, I should say. Oh, hello, tech. I can officially do oil burners stuff. Yay. Huzzah. Speaking of which, there's the better engine unit recipe. And a better transport belt recipe, but it will require rubber, and all rubber now is going to require latex. So there's another thing that I now have to make sure that I'm bussing is latex. Glorious, glorious latex. I don't think it really matters what my next techs are, to be completely honest, actually. I don't think my next tech that I take really matters. I guess rendering. Yeah, that would be important. Bone meal from Bones, bone meal from Ulrich, bone meal from Og. Why we can render Ziffo and we don't have it yet? Okay. 40% on meat, guts, 40% brain. Meat 2 to 5, meat 1 to 2, meat 1 to 3. Yeah, so why do rock exist at as a thing this early outside of being able to make the cocoons? I mean, the point of the rock, just reference here. You need the rock cocoons for retrovirus. I think it's the retrovirus. You need it for cDNA. You need it for cDNA. And why do you need cDNA? Because cDNA is going to be what's required for Og. Hey, look, it's for Og. It's for your first animal for a lot of things. Hey, look, it's Kickalk. It's Kickalk. It's Relesia. It's most everything. It's most everything. you need cDNA, and cDNA is going to need the biosamples. So you actually need to start doing bioreserve mining, and you need this moss sample, which is another glassware use for it, and it's lab instruments. So hey, we're working towards green science already for a lot of this. But yeah, so thing is, retrovirus is genetics 1, which I have to look here. Where is genetics 1? Genetics 1 is after microbiology at Red Science, and that's what it will give you, that stuff. Okay. Ooh, biomass. From phytoplankton, which will require iron ore. Yeah, because you can totally do iron ore now into phytoplankton. That's a very big change, by the way. Phytoplankton used to be grade 1 tin. They used to eat grade 1 tin. Now they eat iron ore. Sure, that's a fantastic change, actually. Now they eat iron ore. But yeah, so I've built this fastwood forestry. Unfortunately, I don't have the time today to show, like, to do the thing, actually build it out, this loop on the wood production, but I will just make note. Currently, we have access, or I have access to this wood recipe. This is what will give the logs. Of course, I also need the standard wood processing unit to process the logs into wood. Then I have to loop wood back into a normal assembling machine to make the wood seeds. And then that goes into botanical nurseries to make the seeds that will feed in to our fastwood forestry. So you see the loop here, and it requires moss, perpetually using moss from moss farms, which at this point in the game we now have access, or I now have access to a stone plus CO2 recipe, which ideally let's make a comparison here. Let's look at the 6.67 CO2 per building plus water is 0.2 moss. This one adds 0.2 stone to give 0.33 moss. So we gain 1.3 repeating, or 0.1.3 repeating by adding 0.2 stone here. And that makes the carbon dioxide go a little bit further. And we also have biomass. And we have biomass, which it looks like at the moment there's only going to be the phytoplankton way of getting biomass. Because this is going to be Biotech Mark II, that's green science. This is going to be green science for Botany Mark II. So this is the, like, main way for getting CO2, and this is the part that Immortal and I are like, we really want to do this math here on biomass to CO2 to moss to wood seedlings, right? We want to see if that still works, and how, if it's still positive, how much extra CO2 will we have? I'm assuming it will still be positive. That's the point. That's the point. I'm assuming it will still be a positive loop. It's just that, again, it's green science level tech to unlock that. I need to see if it is going to be. I need to see if that phytoplankton one is viable too, because yeah, it's iron, but that avoids spending coke. on CO2. Because we have biomass to CO2 unlocked already. If I can do phytoplankton to biomass to CO2 to feed this, well then that's just a that is a consumption of iron ore. 20% is looped back. Okay, well that's fine then. That's absolutely fine then. But anyway, with that, it is now that time to end off the stream. We have been streaming for 3 hours at this point. We can see that it's not a lot of water required here. I will have lots of stuff. Brand new building. The dudes like cut down the trees in the little thingies. But yeah, that's the thing that I will work on. So off screen between now and our next stream on Sunday, I will set up this properly. I will set up this loop properly. I will attempt to avoid setting up the animals off screen. I will try to avoid setting up the animals off screen. So in terms of what I tend to do off screen, just to reiterate for those who don't know, between streams, I try to do only that I have already done. More of what I have already done and not do new things. I try to avoid doing brand new things. Sometimes there's a little wiggle room there, but in this case, something as big as setting up animals for the first time, that's definitely something to do on screen. Setting up this loop for wood after I have described it is fine, because I've discussed this, and it's just wood in the end. It's not anything particularly huge. It's a little bit more complex now, but I've discussed what it is to set up, and I'm showing these buildings. So I will finish setting that up. I will scale the tin. I will do the foundries for the tin. I will do the foundries. Actually, I think the tin is all that's really left. I will do the foundries for the stone bricks. I will route the stone over. I won't be doing titanium and lead, because those will be new. I won't be doing chromium, because that would be new. I won't be doing borax, because that will be new. And I don't feel like it. That means I stay on this process for a while. I would like to do processed iron processing as soon as possible, but that would require setting up titanium first. And we'll do that on screen. It means I will do more quartz, maybe add a second line of quartz in. I will likely do the transition on power. That's one thing I will probably also do is build small oil derricks for that natural gas and place down the oil burners. It is effectively the same process as this, except it's just natural gas. That's why. It's like it's not necessarily a whole new process. It's just a different set of buildings to do those processes. And if I build these now, they're technically not new because they're on my stream. It's like, okay, well, let's build the thing. So now I have access to crude oil and natural gas, and I will only use the natural gas at the moment just to add to power. Okay, I think that just about covers it, and it's Shift G to change it to natural gas. So there we go. Natural gas, 100 per second, or 100 per cycle. In this case, a cycle is 1 per second. So this is producing 100 units natural gas. That's up to 100 megawatts, potentially, of power produced out of one of these. But I will attempt to set up a ton of oil burners, and we'll be good. And everything will be absolutely fantastic and awesome and magnificent. And what the heck is limiting things now? Oh, it's the limestone. Now it's the limestone limiting science. Okay. Well, I'll also be transitioning what I can of the science onto the bus, because as of now, I am able to set up everything on the bus for the red science and fully automate the red science with the bus. So next we meet, if I have the time to do so, this may be completely disappeared, gone, kaput, poof, and moved on to the bus. Okay? With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have been watching the VOD on YouTube, do all the things that you know that you need to do. Engage, no matter where you are. Actually, you can of course find a whole bunch of links in the description / panels below the video. Don't forget to also head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live. Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And I will, of course, see you all on the next one. Oh, and don't forget that you can support Pyanodon at patreon.com/Pyanodon. I forgot to say that last time. Let's not forget to do that. Oh, thank you so much for the Prime subscription, Slamonite. Thank you so very much for that. Right as I end. Thank you so much. I will, of course, be back on Sunday with another stream of this. Hopefully, of this map. Hopefully nothing breaks or changes or all hell breaks loose and yeah, then things die and have to start over again. But yeah, I will see you all then.